Yo, what is going on YouTube? Sharp here, bringing you guys another video. I know it has been a while since I've uploaded to this channel, and as you can tell from the title, this is a Pokemon video, and this is like a PSA submission video. If you guys could drop a like on the video, I would appreciate it. It does help with the algorithm. And if you're new here, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and let me know any other Pokemon style content that you would like to see. I know on this channel I did do Funko Pop stuff for a little bit, and I did vlogs for a little bit. And I've really been enjoying collecting Pokemon this last year and kind of getting back into collecting traded cards. I was pretty deep into Yu-Gi-Oh at one point, but now I'm kind of in the Pokemon, and I'm going to be sending off these 20 cards to get graded. And in this video, I want to kind of look at them and just guess what I think they'll get graded, because I've never sent cards off to get graded before. So I want to try to guess what I think they'll get graded. I want to get roasted in the comments if I'm like saying every card's a 10 and people are like, this guy's an idiot, these are all 7s. Dude's wasting his time, PSA's time, our time. He's wasting everyone's time. Yeah, I think it'll just be a fun video to look back on when I do get the grades in. Let me know what you guys think and any other videos you'd like to see. Just starting off, we have Umbreon V, the character secret rare from Brilliant Stars. All these cards are pack fresh. Like I opened them and immediately just threw them in a top or sleeve and a top loader. So as far as like print lines, this didn't have any print lines on it, and the edges obviously are perfect condition. And I thought the centering was really nice on the front of this card. It's really nicely centered on the front, but I do think the back is a little crooked, little top heavy. I have a hard time calling this a 10. I feel like this is going to come back as a 9 just because the back is a little crooked. But as far as like the surface, the edges, and the front centering, I think, it could definitely get a 9 for sure. The next card I'm submitting is a Arceus V alt art from Brilliant Stars as well. Really big fan of the alternate art cards. I think just the artwork on them is fantastic throughout all the sets. One of the main things I try to collect is alternate arts, which kind of sucks because they are like usually the most expensive, but love the cards, love the artwork on them. And the centering on this, as you can see, I think is just amazing. It is really good centering, pack fresh card. The edges are all nice. The corners are nice. It doesn't seem like top or bottom or left or right. Like, I think this honestly has potential to be a 10. I think this could come back as a 10, unless there's something that I'm not seeing on there that looks a little off, but I think this has 10 potential right here. Next up, we have Celebi V alternate art. Dude, I literally bought random Fusion Strike packs at GameStop, like 5 packs, and came home and opened this. And yeah, I'm submitting this because one, it's an alternate art. So like I said, love the alt arts. The front of the card centered nicely. The surface of the card, nice. The back, I think left to right, it could look nicer, but it's not bad. I want to say again, this has 10 potential because the centering is nice, and there's no print lines or anything on it. But I don't want to sit here and say every card is going to be a 10, because that's hard to pull. It's hard to say every card is going to be a 10. Well, I'm going to put this in the 10. I'm putting this in the 10 pile. We're doing it. Up next, we have Rayquaza V alternate art from Evolving Skies. Front of the card looks great. Most of these I would not submit if the centering didn't look good. I think a lot of it is going to come back, and this is where I'm going to learn kind of with grading is maybe stuff on the card that I didn't see, and I'll be like, oh well, and maybe you guys can help me down in the comments, like the main things that you guys look at, because like I said, I think the centering looks great, and no print lines. The edges, they're not beat up edges. The back of this card I think is a little down to the right. So it's bottom right heavy. As you can see, it's a little thick around the edges. So for that reason, I do think that this is going to come back as a 9 as well. Sleepy Dragonite, love this card. Dragonite, is I'm not gonna sit here and say it's my favorite Pokemon. Gengar is obviously my favorite with the pad here, but we do got a Sleepy Dragonite and fan favorite. So it would be cool to get one of these cards in a 10. I just feel like the front to me looks a little off. It looks a little off-centered, like not 10 potential. It's a little thick on this side and it's a little thick on the top. So this is the first one that I feel like the front of it is not centered too well. But the back, for whatever reason, looks a lot better. I mean, this side's a little thick and then the top's a little thick. For whatever reason, I think this is going to be an 8. So I'm going to lay it over here in this pile. I'm kind of separating them here as 10s, 9s, and 8s. If anything comes back as a 7, I'm literally fighting someone at a GameStop. I don't know why GameStop, but you know, it's not like I let anyone chew on these cards. Why would they be 7s, right? But like I said, it's all learning experience. We have another Sleepy Dragonite. Centering on this one, I think looks a lot better than the last one. The front centered, great. The back centered, I think just amazing. Flawless centering on the back, I would say, right? That's just this I think is my 10 potential Sleepy Dragonite. I don't know. Like I said, it was $18 to submit a card. So like, even if this comes back as a 7, like it's still a graded alternate art card. I mean, yeah, 7 is kind of cheeks. If I'm looking at it from like a selling standpoint, you know, selling this as raw and trying to convince someone that they could send it in and get it graded as a 10 would probably be better. But I think there's a market out there of people that like to collect even not a 7. Why am I saying this is a 7? There's a market of people out there that would even collect like an 8 or even a 9, because not everyone can go out there and big ball and buy the 10. Next card we have is the Sylveon V alternate art from Evolving Skies. Pack fresh card, you know, centering looks amazing. I love the silver border on these cards. The feeling when you're opening up a pack of cards and you see the silver lining on it, like I just love it. I love the silver border. And you know, it's an evolution alternate art card. Back, I think looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty good. I don't know. I think this has 10 potential. It might be a little left side heavy. Might be a little left side heavy. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this is a 9. We're gonna put this in the 9 pile just because like my eye is kind of catching this as like maybe a little left side heavy. I'm gonna put it in the 9 pile. I'm not gonna say that's a 10. Here we have another Arceus V, centering on the front, great. Maybe a little bit right side heavy. You know, the left side's a little skinny, right side's a little heavy. Backside centering, kind of almost the same story. Like I think it looks better on the back, but it's still this side heavy. So, you know, right side heavy on the front, left side heavy on the back. This side of the card is definitely got a little bit more of that print. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 9. Here we have Go Lurk V from Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is definitely one of my favorite sets, for sure. You know, you can't go wrong with opening it. There's so many nice cards in there. So many valuable cards. I think this looks a little bottom heavy, I'm gonna be honest. And you know, yeah, it's for sure bottom heavy. I think this has potential to come back as a 8, because that is a little thick on the bottom. You guys will learn I'm more into the OG Pokemon, you know, the Duraludons and the Golurks and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I'm not too big into. But here we have a Duraludon VMAX alternate art. These cards are a little bit harder to see the centering because you just have that little border down there. But as far as from left to right, the centering looks really good. And then the bottom border doesn't look like crazy thick. I mean, if you look at the back, it might be a little bottom heavy, but I think this card is like, this card's in really good condition. Edges are nice, corners are nice. I'm saying this is going to be a 10. I think we're going to go Duraludon VMAX as a 10. Here we have another Espeon V. Centering on this one looks great. You know, bottom, top, left, right. I think this one is nicely centered. You take a look at the back. Back looks pretty good as well. No dings on the card. You know, like I said, these are all pack fresh. Literally open them on stream or whatever and throw them straight into the sleeve. So as long as there was no printing errors, you know, these weren't like tossed around in a box. Like I have some old cards that were literally just tossed around and like I said, looked like they were chewed on by a toddler. That, yeah, I wouldn't submit to get graded, but I think this has 10 potential. What did I put the other Espeon? Did I say both Espeons were 10s? No, okay. I think I put the other Espeon as a 9. Keeping with the EVs, we got a Sylveon. Centering on the Sylveon is a little, actually it looks pretty good, you know, pretty good centering. I was gonna say it might be a little like bottom left, but I could be just tripping. And you know, I think it looks great. The back of the card looks great. I don't want to sit here and just say like these are all going to be 10s. Some of them gotta come back as 10s. If I don't get 10s, I'm gonna be sad. It's gonna be just a sad moment. Could be a little right side heavy, but that could just be my eyes triggering me. Like, I feel like the card is like down to the bottom left. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 9. I want to be surprised by it because I would love to get that card as a 10, but I think that's gonna be a 9. Here we got Batman defending Gotham. This is actually a gift from Magio. I opened up a whole bunch of cards in his stream and he was just threw this in there. Which when I got it, I looked at it, I was like, you know what, the front, like, centering on the card looks pretty good. The back centering looks pretty good. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just submit it. $18 to submit. Let's see what we get. Definitely, I don't know how Magio had this card, but when I looked at it without the plastic on and everything, like, you couldn't see any print lines. There was no scuffs on the front or anything like that. The edges look nice. Honestly, I'm gonna put this as a 9. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put it as a 10. We're going 10 for Batman. Here we have Sylveon V Max alternate art. Really a bummer because I would love to get this as a 10, but it's a little right side heavy. As you can see, the right is a lot thicker than the left. And then, you know, the bottom is kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of set, like, in the back, it's bottom right. So yeah, this side of the card is definitely thicker. I don't know. I feel like this is going to come back as an 8. I feel like this is going to be an 8. I don't know. I'm going to put it in the 8 pile. It's not looking good on the centering. I'd be happy with a 9 just for how that looks. Dragonite V alternate art. Centering on this looks great. The card looks great. The back looks great. No dings. Edges great. I mean, we're throwing this in the 10 pile. We're calling that a 10. We're calling that a 10. Why not? Umbreon V alternate art from Evolving Skies as well. Believe I opened this up in just a random target pack. Centering on this front looks great. Little top heavy. For that reason, I think, you know, it's gonna be a 9. I think we're gonna call this one a 9, which isn't bad. It's not bad. Here we have another Umbreon V character secret rare from Brilliant Stars. Once again, a little top heavy. I think it's a little top heavy, a little crooked in the back, maybe a little bit over on this side. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be an 8. I'm putting that in the 8 pile. I have 2 cards from XY Evolutions. The first one is Dragonite EX. I like Dragonite. I like his cards. So I would like to get it would be awesome to get a 10 on one of these. It does look a little right side heavy, like not perfectly centered. And I know, like, to get a 10, it's got to be perfect. We're not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, I feel bad for this guy because he submitted all these cards and they were all just dookie. You know, it's got to be perfect. And I do feel like with this, you know, this side of the card is the left side on the back is a little heavy, the right side on the front. So I'm going to say this is going to be a 9, unfortunately. There was one that I looked at and it looked like someone put a stapler through the front of it. I don't know what happened there. But as far as this card goes, I mean, the front looks pretty good. XY Evolution is definitely a very, very fun set to open. Another card from that set is a Mega Charizard EX, the full art. And I actually opened this from a streamer. When I looked at it, I was like, dude, that card is actually nicely centered. Because, you know, I know that with this XY Evolutions, they had difficulty with the quality control on it wasn't really the greatest. I know there's a lot of really off-center cards, but this one I think has 10 potential. This could be a 10 Charizard right here, which I really hope. I mean, obviously it's Charizard. It's a Mega Charizard full art. That would be an awesome card to get a 10. I'm putting it in the 10 pile. And then last but not least, we have the Gold Mew from Pokemon Celebrations. I do have this set master setted, so it would be nice to get a 10. This one is a little heavy on the left, you know, front right. It's a little heavy. I think this is going to come back as a 9. It's not completely perfect. Like, I don't think this is 10 caliber. A lot of it does depend on who is grading the card at the time. So I'm going to put that as a 9. Well, let me know down in the comments. What do you think? What do you think these are going to come back as? You know, just looking through them. Hopefully we can get some PSA 10s out of this. I am going to be submitting more cards. If you guys would like to see something like this again, let me know down in the comments. As always, this is your boy Sharp, and I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe.